What if I were to tell you that you could get 1.5% back on every dollar that you spend, and all you have to do in order to get that is to be financially responsible? What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Clean Green Lawn Service in freezing cold South Georgia. Man, y'all see that ice still on my window? 28 degrees. Yeah, I know some of y'all, that ain't cold. Well, it might not be cold to you, but your body probably isn't adjusted to a climate that's anywhere from 80 to 100 degrees 10.5 months out of the year. So, man, that front-facing camera's not helping me much turning it like that, is it? Anyway, now I'm all over the road playing with the camera. I better slow down on this bridge. It's almost on a curve. Look like some ice on it. If I go to sliding all over the place, y'all know what's up. So, anyway, I'm having to do some riding today, so I want to just hop on here and do a quick video. I'm gonna get down the road, get that sun out of my face, and then I'm gonna check back with y'all. Check this out. This is like the city closest to me. Not closest to me, but the biggest city closest to me. Like, I don't know, I think the population's about 9,000 or 10,000. This is a major U.S. highway, Highway 84, that comes through here. This is what it looks like today, man. It's 8:43 in the morning. Everything's shut down today for the observation, the holiday of Christmas, I guess. You know, all of your businesses and stuff. So that sun is still not our friend, is it? Hey, you may be wondering, you said, man, every time I see this guy, he's got the same clothes on. It's winter here. No, I do have a couple of different beanies. In fact, I got a new one for Christmas, but you know, it's nice and clean. So I won't have it. I mean, I could wear it today, but I got gray on, so I wore the gray one. But anyway, and this Columbia jacket's like one of my favorite jackets. So when it's a little cool out, I wear it. Anyway, here's what I want to talk about today. And I like to be fair and honest when I discuss things and kind of give you both perspectives. I mentioned in a video a while back, just kind of mentioned it in passing, that I got a new credit card for the business for, well, really I started the last couple of weeks here of 2022 and going into 2023. What if I were to tell you that you could get 1.5% back on every dollar that you spend, and all you have to do in order to get that is to be financially responsible? Okay? Now, I chose to go with a Capital One business card. Capital One is very big in the business industry. I currently have a credit card that I don't use a whole lot through the institution that I do my business banking with. However, they don't offer any rewards. And so Capital One, Spark Card, there's a couple of different levels of it. You could get 2% cash back on any purchase, basically any purchase anywhere from what I understand. There's always some fine print sometimes that you get caught up in, but for that card, for the 2% cards, you have to pay like $150 annual fee or something like that. I'm not paying them for a card. Not doing it. So I got the Capital One Spark card that gives you 1.5% back. And if you spend $4,500 in the first 90 days, you get a bonus $500. So that's $500 that they give you for spending $4,500 in the first 90 days. Now, I kind of strategically got this card knowing that our mulch jobs and all that were coming up. I had a few tools and stuff that I need to buy. And of course, fuel in vehicles, all that kind of normal routine stuff that we do. I don't think, I got it at a time that I thought spending $4,500 in the first 90 days would be fairly easy, I think, or I think attainable at least. I don't know about easy. I'm not going to go out and make purchases just to get that $500, okay? But forget about the $500 and let's think about, I can use my credit card to, oh, I got a call coming in. Let me check back with y'all. All right, so, you know, the one thing that I did, I only got a credit card to begin with through my financial institution because my name is the only name on my business account and they will not give me 2 debit cards. So a debit card stays in the truck and they buy all the fuel and stuff for the F-150 and for the mowers, equipment, all that stuff. And I got me a credit card on the business and I use it to buy everything I buy. So basically Elro has the debit card and I have the credit card. So what I decided to do, and I pay these things off every week, so they don't carry a balance. I'm using them like cash, okay? So through Capital One, not only could I get a credit card, but I could get a credit card for other people in the company. And so I got one for Elro. So now everything that we purchase will go on that card. At the end of the week, I will pay them off. And if we spend, you know, $1,000 in a week, then we're gonna get $10 cash reward, or no, $15, 1.5%. So, you know, and it's just free money. Now, let me say this, because I know credit cards are viewed as bad, and rightly so, because a credit card is only beneficial to you, at least to make cash back on it, is if you don't carry a balance on it. So you have to make sure it's paid off. You don't have to pay it off every week, but you have to pay it off before you start to incur interest. So you got to pay it off at least once a month. I just don't like that thing getting ahead. I don't want to go in there and I got $2,500, $3,000 on it. I like to pay, you know, I like to pay once a week. You know, on what I've been doing, it's been usually anywhere from $500 to $1,000, at least during the busy season. So, now, here's the other thing with credit cards. Some people do not believe in credit cards because credit cards are designed to prey on those who do not practice financial discipline. And what I mean by that is this: the reason Capital One's gonna give me 1.5% back, 2% if you get the other card. They had another card that's 1%, I think. The reason they know that they can do that, because the vast majority of people who get credit cards are not going to be financially responsible. That means the vast majority, I would say probably, I don't know what the statistics are, if I were guessing, 80, 90%, maybe more, will carry a balance on the card, and you'll be paying, instead of getting 1.5% back, which you'll still get that money back, but you will be paying them like 22 to 28% interest on that balance. And so some people, I know Jonathan down at Florida Turf Pros, you know, he says he's never had credit cards. Credit cards just aren't his thing, and he won't get a credit card because credit card companies are designed to prey on those who are not financially responsible. I totally get what Jonathan's saying, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. I'm against the lottery. I'm against it, okay? And some of you may get mad about that, and that's okay. Here's the reason why I'm against the lottery. There's a couple. Number one, it's people trying to get rich without working, right? It's just a get rich quick scheme, okay? I think that goes against biblical principles, all right? The other part of that is the lottery, like credit cards in general, the lottery preys on the poor. So you get people who are spending the milk money, the tennis shoe money, the jacket money. They're spending money that they don't have in hopes to get a return with no effort. Now, having said that, you might ask me, well, then what's the difference between a credit card and playing the lottery? If you're not going to do the lottery because of that, why would you get a credit card? Because on a credit card, number one, I'm not expecting to get rich off of it. I'm just going to reap some of those financial rewards, okay? Number two, I'm not getting something for nothing. I'm going to get 1.5% cash back because I'm going to be financially responsible with the card. So there's a distinction there, at least in my mind. And again, you don't have to agree with any of this. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not giving you financial advice. I am simply sharing my story with you and the way I reason it. Number two, number three, whatever my reason is for having credit cards is, as I mentioned earlier, my financial institution will not issue me but one debit card. Now, could I put somebody else's name on the business? Yeah, if I want somebody to have access to my account, right? You say, well, you can put your wife on there. I wouldn't have any issue with my wife being on there. Here's the deal, though. I am a single member LLC. The business is exclusively in my name. That's the way the business is set up. We use business accounts, and me and my wife have personal accounts. We make sure that we don't pierce the corporate veil on the business by moving money around, using personal money for business, using business money for personal expenses. So the way my business is set up, it's set up as a single member LLC. Now, could I change financial institutions and maybe one of them would give me 2 debit cards? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. For me, my banker recommended a credit card, said, hey, you can get this on the business, just keep it paid off. I thought, okay, we'll do it that way. And then I got to thinking, well, heck, if I'm going to use a credit card, I might as well be rewarded for it. And so I went out and started looking at the different cards, and Capital One was the most appealing to me as far as that goes, and so that's the direction I went. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I'm about to get where I'm headed, so let me get off of here and I will check back with y'all. Look at that big old facility, man. Y'all know what I'm doing? Huh? Do y'all know what I'm doing, man? Look at that. All this. All the way down here. Y'all know what I'm doing, don't you? Huh? I come to visit somebody. I'm not quoting that. I figured if I showed y'all the lawn, though, you'd think, man, he just went and quoted another property. That'd be nice to have. But man, that thing stays underwater when it rains. All this land over here is low. Right up here is, on the left, is one of the banks that we do. It's one of our banks right there. I see like that area out there, sometimes we can't even cut it. But no, I'm not over quoting grass. That's a kind of like an assisted living facility slash rehab for physical therapy. And we have a lady from our church that's over there, so I just rode over to visit with her, check on her, and it's nice when you are in a place like that to have people come visit you, you know, because you're away from home, you miss being at home, and so anyway, when we have people in those kind of places, I usually try to go visit them every week or something like that, you know, go spend 30 minutes with them or something. And then of course they got family coming in and out. So anyway, that's why I wanted to take the time to talk about the cards, because it's about a 40-minute ride for me to get over here. So I just had a little bit of time, and thought I would talk about that. So let me know what you think on the cards. You know, there again, I don't believe there's a right and wrong answer necessarily. I think you know, it just depends on, you know, what works for you and what works for your business. And I will once again say, even though I have them, that credit cards can be very financially dangerous. It's so easy to rob Peter to pay Paul on a credit card, because, you know, we always think that, man, you know, something happened and, you know, I need a transmission in my truck, and so I go and I put it on my credit card because I don't have the cash, but I got a big job coming up next month. I'm just gonna bite the bullet, I'm gonna put it on the card, and I'm gonna get a transmission, you know, and you might, and if you didn't have a card, you might figure out another way to do it without doing that. And then next month comes around and that big job comes around, and, you know, something else happens, kind of unexpected or whatever, or you don't make the money you thought you would on the job. I mean, any number of things, and then all of a sudden, you know, you got $3, $4, $5 grand sitting on a card, and they're charging you, you know, $200 a month interest or whatever for that balance. And so, you know, those are just some things to keep in mind. I've had high balances on credit cards before. It is not fun, okay? It is not fun. So you really have to be, you have to be careful with them. You have to be intentional. The other side of that is, I know people now who are successful in business, people who could write a $50,000 check and not even flinch, to buy a property, to buy a vehicle, to buy a piece of equipment. I mean, they wouldn't even have to think twice about it. It's like some of us spending $500. That's the way they spend 50 grand. And I've known people who got started in business by mortgaging their home and maxing out all the credit cards that they had, living off of credit cards for 6 months, a year, until they got the business up and going. Now, am I recommending that? I'm not. But I know people who had a vision and had a goal, and they were going to make it happen, and they took that route. That's what they chose to do. And now $25,000, you know, is almost pocket change to them. So, you know, it all depends on the individual and circumstances, you know. I don't think anybody starts a business thinking this thing's gonna flop, you know. But every business depends on something. Lawn care depends on people either A, not being able to do their lawn, or B, having more money than they do time. I've told you a bunch of times, that's the ideal customer, you know. So anyway, maybe this helps somebody out in some way. Just wanted to share that with you, and appreciate you taking time to watch. And my prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you, and that you might see all of your blessings as from Him. Hope you have a great day.